All right, so Buck played Mr. Edward Fairfax. So tell us about the game.
First Regency type thing that I've played before. And rather than just going with looking at a character sheet and circling things, I actually did a lot of research on the character, kind of flesh him out in my mind before we started. So I knew things like what unit he served with, what battles he was in, and that gave us a lot of grist for the mill as time went on. It made for some interactions and some conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Game-wise, it was very fast and loose. It's very much a narrative game. I felt like, I guess from my sort of experience with gaming, that I didn't necessarily need to use the tokens and just say, hey, how about, y'all cool with this happening? A real collaboration sort of thing.
I like the monologue tokens a lot, though.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
Yeah, that's good. There were times when, I guess, the very set piece nature of it, it was like, okay, we're here and we're talking, all right, and when do we cut to another scene and do something? Because we would make plans and things, and then we'd have the rumors and the epistolary, and then the new chapter, which I want to know what happened in between there.
Mm-hmm. And it's possible we could handle that somewhat in an epistolary as well. Yeah. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Edward Fairfax.
Hi, yeah, I played Oliver Tremaine, and I really enjoyed the game. I think I really enjoyed the phases. I think going from scene to scene helped kind of crystallize the idea that we're it kind of crystallized the idea that things were kind of moving along.
Mm-hmm.
I really unexpectedly enjoyed the epistolary phase. One of the connections, who was the governess of Amanda's character, in the game it came up that the poor vicar was a great scholar but a really poor sermon writer.
He's a good man.
But a good man. But so I had her. I'm going to read her letter.
Oh, sweet.
So this was Mrs. Frances Gibson's letter to the vicar, which was enclosed with a bound volume of sermons. Dear Vicar, I hope the sermons from the Right Honourable Reverend Angus Duncan, a scholar of great repute, will act as inspiration. I have heard that in many parishes closer to Canterbury, it is quite respectable and enlightening to read a fellow theologian's sermon in place of one's own. Yours in Christ, devoted parishioner, Frances Gibson.
Which was a beautiful letter, I think, to send to the vicar.
Right, but it great, and I think it kind of cemented the idea that maybe Frances and the vicar might have a budding romance, and it kind of just led us in a great direction, which was really neat. It was really neat, and it's nice. It was a nice parallel to, the main character's loves and all that stuff. So yeah, I really like that. Dee did a fantastic job. One thing that I would actually, she did, and you may want to point to as an advanced technique, is that she kind of came up with a little grid of everybody's name and estate and their like known connections, which really helped during the game because we weren't wandering around trying to. Well,
yeah, who's so and so?
Right, we could just kind of look it up without stumbling over the longish kind of Regency name. So.
And I did, in case things were not known about newcomers, I just put question marks, which left
blanks for us to fill in.
Exactly.
So overall, good job. I love the look. I love the layout. I like the way the character sheets have been printed. So I think you guys have a real winner on your hands. So.
Indeed. And this was actually Amanda's first role-playing game.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Well done.
Thank you. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'll be back. So, yeah, I think that with it being Jane Austen, I was able to kind of jump in somewhere that I probably wouldn't be able. It wouldn't be accessible otherwise, which is a big thing because like you can't get people to come back if they haven't done it before, right?
It wasn't Rufus' first role-playing game.
I'm afraid not. Rufus is a veteran role-playing game.
I really enjoyed the game. My character had enough liberties to kind of do what she wanted to and knew the other characters already, which is really helpful, I think. Because if I had to do introductions to every single person every time we met, that would be quite a lot for me to handle. So I liked that we already knew each other. I loved the letter writing. It was so fun. My letters weren't great, but it enabled my character to kind of reach out and do the things that she wanted to do. So that's rude, Charlie. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thank you for all the hard work.
Thank you. And one thing also too that we did, I assembled a little folder for each character that had they had a journal, some pencils, and a folder, and also they had a copy of the game, the quick start, and sticky notes. And we did pass sticky notes sometimes to characters to instigate some stuff. So thanks everybody for playing, and we really enjoyed the great game. We look forward to the big edition coming out later this year, and we plan to keep playing. Yay! May you have a incandescently happy day.